So many things can go wrong with sofa choices, and not just aesthetically. You might end up with a very good-looking sofa that is not comfortable. It could be the wrong height, the wrong depth for your body size, the color is too dark or too light, or it doesn't match your decor. The worst thing is if your back is sensitive. It can even hurt your back. Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Natalia Kaylin, and today I want to talk about how to choose the right and comfortable sofa. Sofa mistakes tend to be costly. I've got some great Feng Shui and practical tips on how to choose the right sofa for you. I came up with a list of 9 parameters to check on when buying a new sofa. We will also touch on some psychological aspects behind our sofa choices. This all will apply to standard sofas and sectional sofas as well. According to 5 Feng Shui elements, sofa represents the earth element. And earth is all about stability, balance, and nurturing. And this is what sofa is supposed to give us: stability, balance, nurturing, and comfort. Let me share a story about my client Anne. She hated her new couch from the day it was delivered, about a year before our consultation. It was too hard and didn't fit her body size. She was in a rush when she was choosing it and picked it because it was the right size for the room, color, and style. It was supposed to be a comfortable sofa for her TV room where she and her husband could snuggle together to watch some Netflix movies. But the sofa was uncomfortable to the point that she could not relax and enjoy a movie. While sitting in it, she would become angry with herself for making a wrong choice. Over time, she found that she and her husband spent more and more time in their offices watching something on a computer instead of hanging out together. I mentioned to her that if this had continued much longer, new habits would be formed and the closeness in their relationship would suffer. Anne confirmed my thoughts and decided that despite on a guilt of wasting several $1,000s, it was worth getting rid of it and getting a new sofa. I personally think all mistakes are valuable and provide lessons, but we don't have to live with our mistakes. This really does create a feeling of guilt and undeservingness. Sometimes it's best to bite the bullet and replace the item. Otherwise, you'll not only be uncomfortable, but also carry an underlying feeling of self-blame. Another client bought a beautiful, expensive sofa from our house and realized that it started hurting their backs after a few months. The sofa was too soft, just like they wanted it, but it lacked lumbar support. So they started to hate the couch and decided to get rid of it, because even adding multiple pillows did not help. I'm totally sympathetic with that because my back is very sensitive. Whether it is a sofa or a dining room chair, a lounge chair, or a car seat, it's good to spend some extra time considering your options because it could make a big difference. When buying a sofa, we know we are supposed to sit on it before we buy it. But what should we look for? When my husband and I bought our last sofa, this one actually, we had a few different requirements. Here is the list of parameters that I came up with a contribution from my husband. Number 5 was entirely his idea. For us, it had to be not too soft and not too hard. When you sit in different ones, you can really feel the difference. I like thick cushions that don't sink too much. I am 5 feet 1 inch tall, so for me, the seats should not be too deep. Most modern sofas are too deep, but some of them have options. You can choose the depth. You must consider the height of the sofa. If you are a tall person and the sofa is too low, your back will feel unprotected and you will not be able to relax as well. But be aware if you are placing your sofa in an open floor plan, just like we have here, to separate the eating area or the kitchen from the living room. If the sofa is too high, it will block the view of the room too much. Taller sofas are better placed by the wall, and shorter or normal height sofas can be placed in the middle of the room. If you want to know more about the best sofa placement, please watch my video Feng Shui and Mindful Living Room. If you use the sofa to separate spaces, it is better if the sofa has a straight back rather than a slanted back, or at least not too much of an angle. You must pay attention to the sides of the sofa. Some of them have armrests that are cushy and more rounded, and some are pretty hard and straight and cannot be used as armrests. For my husband, the way he uses the sofa, it was important that the sofa has comfortable armrests. He would hate something like this. We will be buying a new sofa soon, and I already started checking different stores, and most of the modern sofas either have straight sides with no armrests or not too cushy armrests. This will really narrow down my options because I want my sofa to look modern as well. I will let you know in a few months what I come up with. Needless to say, the length of the sofa must fit the room. If it's oversized or undersized, it will feel off, and it will create an unbalance and feel off every time you enter the room. All our previous sofas were leather. We just like the feel and the look. But fabrics now are so beautiful and durable and so pleasant to touch that for my new sofa I will opt for fabric, more color options too. And only after I address all of this do I look at the right color. Since the sofa is a large piece, the color matters a lot. White or other very light colored sofas are beautiful. But if you have animals or young kids, you most likely will regret it if you buy a light colored sofa. Very dark ones often are not ideal either, especially black ones, as it will create a large dark area in the room. Great sofa colors are somewhere in the middle, like cappuccino, light chocolate, or some warm gray shades. Make sure it's not the same color as your rug or walls, otherwise you will have a boring, monochromatic environment. I picked this yellow because I wanted my living space to feel warm. It's a good contrast with a gray rug. Finally, the last parameter, which should actually be the first one, because this is where you would start looking, the sofa style should fit the overall style of your decor. Remember, choosing the right sofa is an investment in your comfort and well-being. Take your time, consider these parameters, and find a sofa that truly suits your needs and space. Please post in the comments below your experience with sofas and let me know if there is anything I missed here. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks for watching and happy sofa shopping!